This conference will now be recorded.
All right, it's official. Everybody heard that? So welcome to our Male Breast Cancer Coalition monthly go-to meeting. We are proud to see that we have three illustrious people that are going to actually tell us a little bit more about what they are doing and researching for male breast cancer. But Sherry, our co-founder, because I know she's got to get off, why don't you then talk about real quickly about the MBC Alliance, what we just kicked off, so the guys are aware.
Okay. As many of you know, we are partners with the Metastatic Breast Cancer Alliance. I took it upon myself to sign up to be on one of their task forces for their upcoming campaign. And what usually is a campaign that they do only 1 month of the year, they are now expanding to be a campaign called Here All Year, otherwise HAY. And they have it rolling out. You should have seen some of the videos. I think Catherine O'Brien was the first one that we posted today. And there's going to be 2 videos and 2 infographics that roll every month. December, they have decided, is the one dedicated to the men. And they have other things rolled out going throughout the year, different topics, one on triple negative and just, things related to women. But we did bring up the point of genetics and how important genetics is and how it plays with breast cancer. And I will be working on a future month, and they will be sprinkling men into some of these features where they fit in, like genetics is for everybody. So, but obviously breast to ovarian isn't going to include you guys. So just to let you know, it's an all-year campaign. We are working on it. We're on the front lines with them, so we will make sure that you guys are included.
Excellent. Thank you, Sherry. We appreciate it. All right, so next up, we're going to introduce Judy Chandler. And from there, Judy, I will let you do a full introduction, tell them what you're going to talk about, and we go from there.
Sure. Thank you, Peggy. I'm Judy Chandler. I work at Inspire. We build online support communities for people with many different diseases, including breast cancer, advanced breast cancer, and male breast cancer. And we have a very robust and active metastatic breast cancer community. And we have partnered with the Male Breast Cancer Coalition to also offer an anonymous male breast cancer support community, similar to your Facebook groups, except that it's anonymous. We are also working on a lot of research at Inspire. We do different types of quantitative and qualitative research. Our goal is to accelerate medical progress for all types of diseases, but cancer seems to be, one of the hottest topics at Inspire. And I was just curious, to learn more about what we might be able to do together to support male breast cancer. Is there a void we can help fill in terms of online support? I know that many of you are on Facebook, and I'm just very curious to hear if there's something that we can do to better support this cause.
So any questions from any of you gentlemen?
No, I don't have any questions. I appreciate I think I've been following you guys for a while with Inspire. Do you guys have any meetings coming up that we possibly could participate in? Any Zoom conferences or go to meetings coming up in the near future?
Right now we're an online support platform. So like the Facebook groups, it's an alternative place where people can connect and ask questions, talk to each other, share information you're not attached to your identity on Inspire. You can be whoever you want. And I don't know, Rick might be able to, share from the perspective of a member, what might be different on Inspire versus other platforms.
Yeah,
I'm putting you on the spot.
Hi guys. Hello again, Peggy.
Thank you, Rick. Good one.
I
We had a great call.
can't live without you today.
Absolutely.
We just have to share with you guys, and actually this is interesting for Judy. Judy, we just had our very first international virtual group. It was really no different to any other virtual group, except we set it at a time that was convenient for the UK, Europe, and Africa.
Yeah.
And we targeted it for male breast cancer with some significant partners. And we had, I think, 13 or 14 men on that call. And it was an excellent call, including one guy from South Africa, one guy from Ireland. And that's really the big difference. I'm using this as a segue to answer Judy's question. It's really the big difference is that Inspire is a platform that's there 24/7 all the time. But it's a written only platform. So you write your thoughts, your questions, your feelings, whatever you want on the platform, and then there will be a response. So the integrity of the platform is only as strong as the number of members. And so it is not significantly different from you exchanging information on a Facebook platform.
Right.
Other than you don't have to be a Male Breast Cancer Coalition member, and you don't have to have been invited, and it's not a private platform. So somebody from South Africa, like the South African guy, could write a question or answer and respond to somebody on Inspire as an open platform without having to be invited into a closed group. And it's very powerful where there's a large platform. I mean, I worked for years, probably 2 or 3 years on Inspire, and I actually got a national recognition from an organization for the work I did there. I just don't have time anymore to be active. But we are huge proponents of Inspire for all our communities, and Inspire has been just wonderful to ANCAN, and we are so grateful for not just in things they allow us to do, which they turn a blind eye to, which they may not with others, but because of Judy and others, we've actually started groups. They've introduced people to us where we've been able to get a group started as a result of Inspire. So we're deeply appreciative of them.
Yeah, absolutely, Judy. And then is there a link you can share in the chat for any of the guys that might not have signed up? And then we'll also re-put that out like we have it on social media on how to get them to sign up. How many members? I know we don't have a lot, but how many members do you recall, Judy, that we've got on our?
I am pulling that number up right now.
Okay,
and and I always say it doesn't really matter how many members. It matters how active they are. So we have 52 members. But it has to do with, I guess, creating a place that's valuable and that people feel like they can share. And thank you, Rick, for that really nice statement about it. I would just emphasize again, I think the biggest difference too is that you don't have to have a name or a picture or anything like that. I think that's what differentiates us. We also have some features that Facebook doesn't have, and we also don't have features that Facebook does have. So, and we are right now working on enhancing the platform to work better on mobile, to improve our app, both the app and the mobile web version. So, we're doing a lot right now, and we also just want to know if anyone thinks of anything that could be improved in terms of there's some need that's not being met that you want. We're very open to collaboration and to feedback and to try to kind of meet the needs of any community that comes to us. So I will go ahead and put the link in the chat, and
Perfect.
I appreciate you inviting me to
Well, we
share.
thank you all for helping us to get inspired. Do you see that pun? I know, I reached for it. But no, I mean, and again, once we get the guys moving on it and they get comfortable with it, that's all that it takes. And we've gotten to sign up, but again, I don't know, we got to get you guys having a voice there. That's what's going to help keep it all going, the community there. So Judy, it's right there on the chat if you guys want to grab it. But again, I will, we will share out the link and all that here on social media so you have it. But are there any other questions for Judy from any of you? I think we're good there. All right. So we will thank you again, Judy. We appreciate
Thank
you
you.
so much. Our next helper that's going to really continue to keep us going on the 100 project is Miss Zoe from Citizen. Take it away, girl.
I'll do my best, Peggy.
Absolutely.
So Aubrey, Michael, Pat, Sherry, I feel like you all are old friends at this point, and I think we've had the pleasure of working with your community for over a year now. It's kind of hard to believe. And over that last year, I've had the pleasure of supporting a whole host of men, and I'm joining you all today to announce the launch of Citizen's clinical trial program. So now when you have a Citizen profile and all of your medical records in one place, you can also explore the clinical trials that you are eligible for. Now, anytime you think about clinical trials and clinical trial matchers, the thing that probably jumps into your head is filling out a bunch of surveys, of having to know the specifics of your treatment, of your doses, of your subtype, mutations, and then, entering all those things, hitting enter and seeing what you get back. The beauty of Citizen's approach and having all of your medical records under your control is that you can now get them to work for you. So you can have all of your medical records screened against every single trial on clinicaltrials.gov. That's over 500 trials. And you're able to match against every single exclusion and inclusion criteria of those trials. So instead of just searching what are the metastatic clinical trials for triple negative, you can understand what are real options for you. It can be overwhelming. It can be a very daunting process to ask, what's even an option for me? And so what we're really hoping to do is to take a lot of that work off your plate and get computers and machines to do what they are really, really good at, which is like high throughput computing, right? Like, that's why we built computers. That's why the world runs on computers. And now you can take all of your medical records, those thousands and thousands of pages, mash them against all of the protocols of every clinical trial in the country, and get this beautiful report that tells you what trials you are eligible for near where you live. But the thing that's really important about Citizen is that we aspire very, very strongly to have no bias. So we screen you against every single trial. We will show you the results of every trial across every location in the country, not just the ones near where you live, because it's important that you understand and have a tool to navigate all those choices so that you have the best possible shot of deciding with your doctor what makes sense for you. So it is live, and I'm super, super excited to be on your webinar today and invite the male breast cancer community to have early access. There are 100 spots or reports that we are able to I don't know what the right word is, to generate or to create for our members. And as a part of us saying thank you to this wonderful community, and also recognizing, you've all leaned in with us from the very, very early days. Really excited to share that anyone who signs up for our clinical trial program will themselves receive $100 and also kick off a donation of $100 to the Male Breast Cancer Coalition. So we're doing a give and get to celebrate the early launch of our clinical trial program. Now, the last thing that I'll say is that it is currently only open for patients with advanced or metastatic cancer. We are prioritizing those patients because in many regards, clinical trials are more relevant and urgent. And given that we're still, getting this service totally off the ground, or reserving that limited capacity for those patients. So if you, anyone you know has advanced or metastatic breast cancer and is interested in joining the program, you just have to go to citizen.com/clinical trials to claim your spot. But yeah, we've been working at this for well over a year, and it's finally ready. We are actively screening patients and generating these reports. So, and I'm getting to tell you and actually share it with the world, which is so wonderful. So.
Finally, now this is amazing, and if you send me out an outright email that I will send out to the masses, spelling it out to them and where they go to sign up if they're metastatic and stuff, we will get that out on all the social media besides email to make sure that everybody knows it's being launched and why you're allowing us to do it early and all that. That's amazing.
Sophia, besides opening up to the Male Breast Cancer Coalition, are metastatic women eligible or not yet?
Yes. Metastatic women are also eligible.
And that's, please state
it's open to all metastatic or advanced breast cancer patients.
Okay.
Everyone is metastatic.
Let's state it that way, because many of our men, their wives are breast cancer survivors or metastatic themselves. So this can help everyone, the whole family.
Okay, that's great.
That's amazing. Anyone else have any questions? Yeah.
Do you want me to give people a sneak peek of what the reports look like?
Sure.
Yeah. Do you want to jump on the screen?
I have to share your screen. Hold on.
You have to give me permission, I think.
Yeah, here we go. Make presenter.
Okay.
All right, there you go.
See, I have a little ball of death. Okay.
Does that do it?
Let's see.
Rick?
It's saying no, you're not allowed to.
Why is it still saying no?
All right, Rick. She's having a problem.
Does she need to be organizer?
Oh, well, sorry. What
She
do you
wants to
need?
share her screen.
Oh, she has to be presenter. Hold on. Sorry.
I did that, and she still didn't get it.
Let me see. No, you just need to make her a presenter. That's all.
That's what I did.
Hold on a second. Yeah.
Okay.
I got the bubble coming up.
You should be able to share your screen at the bottom. Do you not have something that says screen?
At the very bottom
of the
screen.
videos?
Okay, you know what, actually, it's my computer rejecting GoToMeeting. I have to change this.
Oh, yeah, you got to accept. Yeah, let it in.
Okay. Can't help you with that one.
Okay, well, I would have to.
I was actually just writing Sophia a note. Sorry.
So, Peggy, I don't think I'm going to be able to share my screen. My computer
All
is
right.
saying I need to restart to implement
To do all that, no big deal. And we can do that as part of.
But anyone who's interested, reach out to me. Sophia@citizen.com with 2 eyes. It is an incredibly exciting day at the company, and we just are so thrilled to be able to share this with
Yeah, and that's I say in your email, put me that so they can reach out. And I'll copy and paste it everywhere. So
sounds good.
That's amazing.
At the same time, even if clinical trials aren't something that are relevant or even something you're curious about, we are running our October donation program. So everyone who joins kicks off a $25 donation to the Male Breast Cancer Coalition. So if you've been hearing about Citizen and you're like, you know, I should do that thing where I get all my records in my control, now's the time.
Yeah, and you need to do it. I'm telling you, it is so nice to have that link to share. Makes your life.
Peggy's a super user.
Well, oh my God. And I had to do it again because I fell last Friday, breaking 3 toes and fracturing my other left kneecap. So I immediately took my Citizens deal and I shared it for the klutz here in me. So 3 broken toes and a very, very bruised kneecap. So
yeah. And,
you know,
and Aubrey recently joined. Do you want to maybe share what signing up was like? Because I think one of the misconceptions is you say medical records, and I immediately think trudging to the basement of my hospital and standing in line, and it's only open from 11 to 1:30 on Fridays. Aubrey, what was signing up like?
It was pretty smooth. Just putting in, remembering the all the places I've been. That was the challenging part. But as far as signing up, it was a breeze.
The best part, Sophia, is you don't have to deal with all of those personalities at all of those hospitals or clinics or scan centers, because everybody got an attitude right now. So
very much so.
When Citizen does all the legwork, it's just sit back and watch.
Simple.
Yep, easy breezy.
And I say, don't wait until you need to go back to the app and stuff. Go back to it on a regular basis. Because when I went back because I needed to Friday, I go, shit, I hadn't been back in a while. That's the issue.
I can give you one good example of what happens if you don't have Citizen. So we had a guy just in the last 2 weeks, a very young guy with very advanced prostate cancer. And we wanted to move him to get an appointment and to get immediate treatment at Johns Hopkins from the University of Maryland. Hopkins said, we can't see him until we have his records. And we said to him, you've got to go start getting your records right away. And he had an appointment in the hospital and he wanted to get his records in the same hospital. And they told him they couldn't give him his records because of COVID. And that they wouldn't give it to him there and then because of COVID. It took another 3 or 4 days. It meant he had to wait an extra week for an appointment. And he doesn't have that time right now. Now, sadly, Citizen is not yet accepting prostate cancer patients, but we recognize and we know how valuable this opportunity is that you guys have. And anybody who doesn't sign up for it needs their brains testing.
Check. I totally agree with you. It makes life so simple.
And I always forget
That's
this.
a great example.
In my mind, I'm like, of course, it's free. We don't charge.
It is free.
For our medical information.
And then it's finally when I kept putting free, I think I got their attention. And I'm going to keep putting that across.
Exactly.
Nobody's used to getting anything for free, especially now. But this is amazing service. We can't thank you enough. That's awesome.
Thank you, Sophie.
Peggy, pretty amazing way to celebrate a year of being in partnership.
That's right. It is. We appreciate you all so much. Definitely. All right. So if any other questions, then we'll move on to Mr. Brian. And he can help me and introduce yourself and tell them what you're here for.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for having me. It's super nice to meet you all. So I'm with an organization called Cancer and Careers. We're based in New York City, but we do all of our work nationally. And we're specifically focused on helping anyone going through cancer with work and all of the many issues that come up regarding work, whether it be legal rights, figuring out how to address a gap on your resume because you've been away for treatment, career change, returning to work, all of the many ways cancer can affect work. We speak to that. I'll tell you some of the programs we have, but the first thing I want to tell you about is we have a new program that won't last too long. So if it interests you, I'll put my info in the chat window and please reach out to me. But we have a financial assistance grant program that we're really excited about. It's going really well. We're giving away $500 to 500 people. And there's an application process, but it's for anyone who has experienced cancer and major financial challenges or employment challenges, or has been affected by COVID-19. So of course we're hearing a lot of people's really personal stories and all the major ways people have been affected, and this program is designed to be kind of a quick turnaround because it's sort of designed to help with emergency needs. So we're trying to get that money out to applicants within 2 to 4 weeks or so. So if that's something that interests you, or or even if you just have a question about it and you're like, I don't know if I should apply, but finances are hard, let me know. So that's going on right now, but it won't last too long. I'd expect it would be done by the end of the year. But some of our regular programs that we have is we have something called Balancing Work and Cancer webinars, which is a series of usually an hour or an hour and a half webinars on very specific topics. So on November 4th coming up, we have one on health insurance options, which is kind of good timing as a lot of people's health insurance is rolling over. And we do that partnered with another organization who we work with all the time called Triage Cancer. And they really speak to a lot of the legal and technical and financial calculation aspects in a really wonderful way. I still struggle, as many people do, understanding health insurance. And this one is a really good webinar on that. And the last one we have for the year is in December, called Communicating Effectively, mostly about communicating at work or communicating with coworkers or bosses. But our Balancing Work and Cancer webinars are all recorded, and so all of the past ones are available online. So we have past sessions on things like career change or whatever your personal decision is on if you decide to disclose a diagnosis to coworkers or bosses, as well as a session on newly diagnosed. Another program we have is a resume review service. Side note, all of our programs are free, but we have a resume review service where you submit our resume and we send it to one of our career coaches who works with you to help shape the language and make sure it's really up to whatever the different job market standards are at any given moment, and that it reflects you and your skills or what you're looking to do next. We also have an Ask a Career Coach message board where we have various career coaches who you could send a really complex message to, and they'll take some time and you'll hear back for 2 or 3 of them and give you some thoughts on ideas. And we also have a sort of library of free publications that you could either download digitally or we will mail them to you for free on all sorts of different topics. We have 2 really big publications. One's called Living and Working with Cancer Workbook, and another is called the Job Search Toolkit. They're like 40 to 50 pages, and they touch on everything from resumes and cover letters to using LinkedIn, talking with coworkers who say things that come across as insensitive, or for example, we have a publication called the Manager's Kit, which is designed for you to hand to your manager to educate a manager who may not know anything about helping an employee with cancer, may not know anything about your legal rights. And this is designed to sort of, in a very welcoming way, help them get a handle on that. And otherwise, we also do lots of live events. We used to do them in person. We will again one day. But we have 3 big conferences every year. We just finished one big one that are full day-long events on all of these big topics. Let's see. I just got a question from Patricia. Let's take a peek at that. So Patricia's asking if my November 4th webinar regarding health insurance will deal with Medicare and supplements. Interesting. Patricia, I don't know off the top of my head, but I will totally find that out for you. I'm going to put my email address in the chat, or if you're not on able to get that, we'll find a way to get it to you. But I'll totally find out the answer to that. I do know we speak about, I don't know about supplements, but I do know we speak about Medicare and Medicaid, because we really do speak about the full suite of options. But I will gladly find out.
Thank you.
I'm just making a little note. Yeah, that's an overview of our programs. With just a little caveat that the year's kind of ending for us, so a lot of our big programs have ended. But next year we'll have these sort of big conferences. I think the next one's in March, and then this year we sort of on the fly created 15 virtual programs, is what we called it. As soon as COVID hit in mid-February, early March, we had scrambled to figure out how to exist in a virtual world. So we created virtual programs, whether it be transitioning in work or with a nutritionist or with a financial manager. So I'm sure we're going to have plenty of those next year. We just haven't figured out what they will be yet. But
So
yeah, that's what
Brian,
we, yes.
are those available that we could share on our resource page?
The virtual programs aren't, but I could definitely direct you to our, I actually think I could direct you to our, we have a video page. We have a few more programs that are saved, and I could send that to you.
And that would be great. That way we could share that out to the brothers page too, the private groups, besides an email form.
Yeah. Rick? Brian, are you guys on Twitter? The company?
We are.
What's the
handle?
Let me find out. Having not having a Twitter account myself, I know we're either Cancer and Career or Cancer and Careers. Cancer and Careers. So we're Cancer and Careers. Apparently someone else must have stole the S.
Yeah, we have that problem.
Do you?
Yeah, on our breast self-exam, we had to put the S on because somebody already had the breast self-exam. So we are breast self-exams.
Brian, is there any type of screening for patients who want to apply for any of these cancer and career things, or is there a doctor's note involved or anything like that?
Not at all free. We have different applications for every little program, that may ask some demographic information. The financial assistance grants does ask some more like substantive questions, but no screening or anything like that.
Excellent.
So, Brian, I do have a question for you, which is applicable here, but it comes from a different cancer. We had for the life of me, I can't remember right now, but we had a guy who was on one of our groups recently, who has been on androgen deprivation therapy for several months. And it has, and he acknowledges it has, altered his mental state. And he hasn't shared his diagnosis at work. And he finished up getting a warning for his behavior at work. And he was saying, what should he do? We don't have that type of expertise, but is this the sort of issue that we could refer him to you and you can advise him how to handle that situation?
Yeah, it is exactly that. And a lot of our different, and it's so complicated and so reliant on so many different factors, including work culture. Though there are different sort of legal protections in place, but that's exactly what we speak to. We'd be so happy to send him some of our information, or we also have 2 social workers on staff who, are available by phone, who could really get into the nitty gritty of it. But that's almost the meat and potatoes of what we deal with, and how intimately and differently it could affect everyone. Because there's a lot of questions that are before him, whether he would feel comfortable telling it to his boss, or even just learning about some legal rights he may have in terms of asking for reasonable accommodations at work,
Right.
Things that may help with the different sort of mental changes he's feeling, but yeah, I'd love for you to pass him on to us.
I've got to figure out. I've been just playing around, seeing if I can find him. But I'll put a feeler out to my moderators and see if they can remember who it was. Somebody will, and then we can. You were going to put your email in the.
Put your email chat.
Yeah.
That'd be
Put
great.
your email in the chat, and also put.
I'm going to try to multitask while I do that.
Put your URL in the chat too, please.
Yeah. But that, this affects work in ways as various as we are different.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a perfect example. And I think that what I like the most is that I feel like we can speak to the information that could give someone a baseline of where to go from. You could help know, well, actually at work, I can't be discriminated against because of this, or it's totally reasonable for me to ask for this minor change to assist with the side effect I'm feeling, or, all of those things. And it's how every person decides to handle it is unique to them, but there are still sort of objective things in place that are protections or information that could empower you.
Well, I mean, I do know with respect to male breast cancer that tamoxifen is a very popular drug, and tamoxifen can change how you behave. And as Aubrey nods, and I mean, we really understand some of the issues around hormone therapy because of all the work we do in prostate cancer. So we're very empathetic. So I think this is a terrific resource that we can hold on to and we can talk to folks about. And I'll do my best to try and find out who it was, and if we can find him, we'll refer him to you.
Great.
Yeah,
I'm so happy for anyone to if you wanted to send them along to me. We also if it's something outside of our wheelhouse, we're also happy to pass on any information from the sort of wide range of resources we kind of know about because we've worked in the field for a while. And so I'm so happy to point to other organizations too if it ever comes up.
Yeah, that's wonderful, because we've had several guys actually lose their jobs over their breast cancer. Yeah. They didn't know where to turn, and they're so devastated with the breast cancer, they didn't even want to call lawyers in and stuff, and I understand, but what you're doing is amazing. I mean, that's phenomenal. It really, truly is. We now have an answer for them. That works beautifully. Excellent, excellent. So anyone else have any questions or nothing? Michael?
I'm following him on Twitter, and what Brian was just talking about with the grant assistance. I retweeted it out to the community. So people.
Yeah, because we've got a couple of guys that need some financial help right now that may not make it much longer. So
yeah, thank you for doing that.
We'll turn them onto that.
And I might have sent a note to your boss saying what a great presentation you gave, Brian.
Oh, Michael, that's so kind of you. Thank you. But yeah, that financial, really, that's very kind of you. Thank you. But the financial grant I think people have everybody has a different relationship with asking for money, and sometimes someone could easily be in a really difficult situation and go like, well, no, it's not that bad. But like, cancer hits you financially.
Very
and
much
can
so.
hit employment, and COVID is going on, and that's major. And so if you know anyone wrestling with that in any way,
Yeah, we're
have
going
them
to turn you
submit or have
on
them
to,
ask me
I'm going
about
to
it.
email, we're going to email you one couple right now that's
Awesome.
having a really bad time.
Yeah.
And you could be a tremendous help to them right now, I think.
Great.
So
Thank you, Peggy.
Pat and Michael had both put them in here, and I said, yes, we have to get them to you.
Uh,
Definitely. So that is wonderful. Absolutely. So
and
anyone
thank you
else
all
have
again.
any? We thank you so much. Any other questions at hand or anything anybody can think of? We don't have many to take a poll here today, but we're thinking about, since Thanksgiving literally falls on our fourth Thursday in November, that we will definitely not have the meeting that day. The UK is going to go on and have theirs because they don't do our Thanksgiving. But and then we'll just play it by ear on December. If we have another meeting, we can call it at any time. But with the holidays, usually we try to take a little bit of a hiatus. We have the private pages now that everybody can communicate, so it's not like we're not talking. So, if everybody's in agreement, that's how we're going to set with the holidays at this point. But we've got a lot going on. Again, we're just October 22nd. We still have the rest of the month of October. And I know every one of you guys have been involved tremendously about it. And it's what's making change. I can't tell you, just like Rick said, the kickoff for the UK and the other countries and the guys getting on that call, nobody could imagine it would be that fantastic. And it really, really was. And they all opened up to each other. And I think it's the beginning of something beautifully for the men in other countries. So all I can say is, together we will change the world. That men have breasts too. Yes. And we thank you all. If there's no other questions, and thank you, Citizen Sophie, send me that stuff, and we'll get it all pointed out. And same with Brian, send me the email, and we'll start social media and it all out.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Good seeing you.
Thank you.
See you, Rick. Pat, Sophia.
Oh, Michael, right now we're not talking about delaying your discussion group. Maybe what we could do is, if you do want to delay it, because I guess that's got to be, well, no, that's the day before Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
so,
they're the day before Thanksgiving, and they're going to have theirs next week. So
right.
Yeah, and
we're still good.
I would let Ron Rappaport make any decisions on that.
Yeah, and he did. He's talked about keeping it going.
Okay, yeah. I told him it was completely up to you guys, and if you wanted to make switches, we'd try and work with you as best as we can.
And that's what he said. So he's going to see how the meeting goes with you guys this next week, and then you'll make your decision for November, December. So
okay.
Excellent. Bye. Thank you all. Bye-bye.
See ya.